Junior Jewels, I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess, and we are the hosts of Typical Tuesday Night,
a Taylor Swift podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Typical Tuesday Night. I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess.
And we are in our podcast studio, which I still just love saying.
Yes.
It's been like a month now.
Yeah.
And I still just can't get over it. Every time I walk in here, I just think it's so cute. If you guys don't know, we are now on YouTube.
Yes.
It's so fun.
And it's so fun because for a few reasons for us, even if you don't watch on YouTube, like this ensures that we record in person every time.
And it's way more fun.
We used to record in person most of the time when we first started, and then it's like life got busy and like it's easier to record virtually, and so we were recording virtually a lot. Then we started to get back in the zone and like doing it in person a little bit more, but like this makes it so like we have to get together, which is so fun.
It's way more fun.
It's way more fun to podcast in person than virtually. And then also like we just like sitting here in our little studio, it's just like so fun and just sets like a fun tone, and we love it.
It's the vibe.
Yes.
And it's a great vibe.
Yeah.
It's a great vibe.
So fun.
Yeah.
So we are super excited because today we are starting our first series on YouTube. If you've been around for a while, you know we do a couple of series a year, our most recent one being Folklore. And we're really excited to do a series where we can incorporate YouTube and add some extra visuals for you guys, and it's going to be
videos,
a lot
of
fun.
All the things,
Yes, we some examples of things we do typically in series are like album overviews, music deep dives. We talk about relationships tied to the album. We'll do like music video deep dives, misheard
and that's
lyrics.
too. I was gonna say when we do like our misheard lyrics and stuff like that, which is also really fun.
So fun.
Yeah. Okay, before we jump in, I was scrolling TikTok as one does, and most of the content on there is Taylor Swift related.
Yes.
As it is. As it should be.
As it should be.
And somebody like got on and they were talking about how they were proving that majority of Tortured Poets is about Joe Alwyn, not about Maddie Healy. We've heard this discussion for, almost a year now. And I was like, okay, like I'll listen. Try and change my mind. Let's see what you do.
I'll humor you.
Because then she was like, specifically the song The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
And I was then like, she lost you.
Okay. Good luck changing my mind on that one.
Yeah.
And it was funny because most of the comments were like, have you heard this line? Have you heard this line?
Yeah.
I was like, poor girl. But anyway, so one of her biggest things that she was saying is because you know how she like on April 19th, so that was when the album was released.
Yeah.
The year prior on April 19th was when everybody like they met up, her and her friends. And then there was like that mass unfollowing
of Joe.
And they were like just saying how like something had to have happened. And for her to then release the album a year later, like it just is such a pointing thing to that. Anyway, we kind of talked about that before. But what are your thoughts on that being what proves this album is about Joe Alwyn?
If you were around / if you've like gone back and listened to our Tortured Poets predictions, obviously we very fully were convinced that Tortured Poets was going to be all about Joe Alwyn.
Yes.
We went through song by song and like shot our shot at like why the title of the song would be about Joe and like what it could be about. And it was really fun.
Oh yeah.
Kind of sad that
it
most
wasn't.
of them weren't true. Obviously we are obsessed with the album, but it was super fun to do. And I feel like Taylor intentionally, we were talking about this because the series we're doing today, I guess we haven't even said what series it is yet, but
we'll get there.
The series we're jumping into today, this specific album had a ton of promo, a ton of promo, and Tortured Poets had next to zero promo. And I think that Taylor intentionally made it like people kind of think it was going to be about Joe.
Yes.
There were any promo that she did do, including the release of it being April 19th, including calling it the Tortured Poets
Yeah.
Department because that tied back to Joe too in the whole like Tortured Man Club text
Yep.
group that he had. Like, I think that Joe Alwyn was the Maddie Healy red herring
Yes.
for Tortured Poets.
I 100% agree.
It was the distraction so that when it came out, it was going to be intriguing. People were going to be confused and people were going to be like, almost like, oh my gosh, what is this? You know, when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
And so to me, like, I totally get where they're coming from and
Yeah.
saying, like,
Especially because we predicted, like,
that's a clear connection. Like, we totally, you know, lots of people put that together when it came out. But to me, like, yeah, great connection. But like, when you really look at the lyrics and the storylines throughout the album, like,
it just doesn't, it doesn't fit.
Clearly, especially if you've listened to songs like You're Losing Me, So Long London, all like these songs, it's just like clearly Joe and her ended as kind of just like
we just faded away.
A long, slow, painful death. And Tortured Poets is very like fast paced.
Yeah.
It's totally
it's like
Maddie
in a
Healy
moment
vibe where it's less like it came and it went and it was a lot in like a short amount of time. And to me, the way the music is and the lyrics go, that's like more telling to me than just
absolutely.
Like connecting the dates.
It's funny that you brought up the red herring because she brought that up in her video, saying that like Maddie Healy was the red herring for all of this Joe stuff.
Yeah.
And this was the date that like proved that. But I agree with you. Like, I felt like it was the opposite. So it's funny. But I also was thinking about it and I was like, well, obviously, like, they probably waited to unfollow because, like, when something like a breakup or something happens with your friend, you wait until you hear what they have to say, hear how bad it was, and then you unfollow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure none of them were, and I'm sure we've talked about, they probably broke up multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of her friends were like, let's wait till we go to lunch, hear what really happened. Is this like a long time breakup? Is this like you guys are having like a moment? What's the vibe? Oh, this is like for serious, like you guys are over?
Yeah.
Unfollow.
Well, plus, like, as a celebrity, like, breakups involve PR.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. And like, we think that Joe and her had broken up long before we ever heard about it.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too. Like, people notice.
Yes.
People notice when people unfollow certain people. So like, if back in December or January, a bunch of her friends unfollowed Joe, like that would have people would have caught on to it early.
Yeah.
And I think that that's part of it too. It's like, we got to wait till the news breaks.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Nope. We're going to save this question for another day because we got to get into this. But I have another thought on this breakup that for some weird reason I've been thinking about a lot lately. So everybody should stay tuned. I've been like taking notes in my phone of like things to ask Jess about that I've weirdly been pondering. And that is one of those. And it kind of fits into this, but we're going to like go on. So
anyway. Perfect. Okay. So we also, really quick before we jump in, we want to tell you all that we have another Haler night coming up. If you're local to Salt Lake City, Ricky Barrera is such an amazing DJ. And this will be our third Haler night. And it's one of those things where it's like, now that we've been, like, we want to go.
We like have to go all the time. Yes.
It's so much fun. It's like a sing-along dance party of like mashed up music of Taylor Swift and Harry Styles, One Direction. It is so much fun.
It's so fun.
Come hang out with us. If you're going to go, let us know. We want to like chat and say hi.
Yeah.
But it is on February 8th. And we'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
And you can use code Haler15 for $15 tickets.
Yeah.
So,
which is such a steal.
Oh yeah.
For like a fun party.
Oh, it's so fun.
Because it is so much fun.
Yeah, we can't wait.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Okay. We are gonna read a review like we've been doing because we guys just it's so great to read these.
Yes.
And we just want to shout you guys out. So this is from Blue Star's Biggest Fan. And they said, "Hey girls, I love you and your amazing episodes, especially the Easter egg ones. You are so informative and inclusive to all parts of the Taylor spectrum. This is a great listen for any Taylor fan. I would highly recommend it. But can you please do more music video Easter eggs? I can't watch YouTube or really go online, so I solely rely on podcasts for that info. And if you did a Bejeweled Easter egg episode, I would love that. Love you so much. Keep shining. Which
Oh,
was so nice.
so nice.
But also, that in and of itself was a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Because people probably saw what we're doing because there's like a title. But we are going to start with a Midnights episode series. That's what I was looking for, a Midnight series. I am so excited about this one,
Me too.
especially after like starting to do the research and like re-listening. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm excited. I feel like I got pretty familiar with the Midnights music.
Yeah.
But as far as the Midnights, like the era and a lot of the kind of things outside of just the music, I was a little like oblivious to, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or I've forgotten it.
Well, there was a lot. Like as I was like, researching and like finding a lot of stuff, I had forgotten a lot of it because there was so much going on. And so I'm like really excited to talk about it. But it's crazy too because it's really recent.
Because Midnights came out. Yeah, so
2022.
Midnights came out fall of 2022, and I think that's why the like quote unquote Midnights era got a little lost for me because it was like Midnights released, and like a month later we're buying Eras Tour tickets, and that was all that was on my mind was Eras Tour. I was like listening to Midnights, but I wasn't really like. I mean, not that I was really doing that much before the podcast, like deep diving and doing all this digging and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like laid out for me great, but
but like otherwise, there wasn't a need to, and I do think that Eras Tour gave us a lot more tailored content in general. And so some of this, like, you easily could have missed.
Yeah, for sure.
But before we jump in, I want to know, I think like I've said that like 3 times now. Before we jump in, I want to know your thoughts on the Midnights album. Okay. Just like overall.
Yeah.
Just like 30 seconds.
I remember when I very first listened to it, the 2 songs that just stood out to me were Karma and Bejeweled.
Great choices.
Because they just, those are the easy, consumable, dance around a little bit songs. And I thought they were super fun. But I feel like, again, because the Eras Tour got started, it did like 2 things for me. The Eras Tour made me appreciate certain Midnight songs more after tour than I did pre-tour, but I also feel like I didn't listen to Midnights as much as, say, Tortured Poets because of tour. Yeah. And it was like a tour of everything, so I wasn't as focused on it. Yeah. But I do know like some people say it's like one of their least favorite albums. I wouldn't say it's like one of my top albums, but it has some of my very favorite songs.
Some
like
really good
I
ones.
love Hits Different so much. I love Paris. I love
It's so funny. The song I thought you were gonna say you still have not said yet.
I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say You're on Your Own, Kid.
You're on Your Own, Kid. It's one of my top track 5s.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a good one.
That was one that like after I had digested the album for like a week was easily a favorite. Yeah. It's so good.
It's a really good one. Yeah. I feel like when I first listened to it, the song that stood out to me, which is so weird, I don't know why, is Question. I just really liked it. I thought it was a really interesting song.
Yes.
And I was kind of confused by it. Yeah. And I kind of liked it.
You were like, question?
Yeah, I was like, I am very, What? Wait a second. I will say though, because then, and we'll talk about this, she does the like 3 a.m. version. When I listened to that same night, those songs stood out to me way more than the original. They're very much more my vibe. Yeah. Like when I heard Would've, Coulda, Should've, I was like, this is so good. Yeah. So for the first little bit, I feel like it was one of my least favorite albums until the tour. When I saw it on tour, it really gave me a new appreciation. Also, I just feel like what she's done since and the overall era, now like deep diving more into stuff, I've really appreciated it a lot more. So
Like, I
That's
did
fun.
not like Mastermind at all.
Yeah.
Loved it after tour.
Yes.
And like love Midnight Rain, it's like I need to, I've told you this before, I'm so bad. I never just like go to Spotify and like shuffle Taylor.
Yeah.
I get so like, I'm just
In,
like
like, an
so
album.
in one
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to like, because when you will put it on shuffle and like
Yeah.
a Speak Now song will come on, I'm like, I
You're like,
love
this is great.
this. Why don't I listen to this more?
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to do that with Midnights more. I need to just like revisit.
Just go back.
More.
Well, now we are.
Yes.
Here we are.
If you need an excuse to revisit the Midnights album, here it is.
Yeah, we're giving you. I was going to say permission, but like people need our permission to go listen to it.
Album. Used to.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So, okay. So first we're going to do just like a quick little overview of the album for you today. Going through, like a lot of the promo and just kind of like the era, how it got announced, all that stuff.
Everything you need to know about the overall album.
Mm-hmm.
Laid out for you. Here we go.
Here it is. So it was her 10th studio album and it released on October 21st, 2022. It was her 4th explicit album. The other 3 being Folklore, Evermore, and Red. And Red Taylor's version.
Only because of All Too Well.
All Too Well.
10-minute version.
F that patriarchy. Necessary.
It honestly, yes.
Give us that.
Yes.
Taylor and Jack produced the standard edition and it was categorized as synth pop. It got people talking about Folklore and Evermore because they were like labeled as alternative.
And I remember people were like unsure what direction she was going to go.
Yeah.
Like, is she going to stick with alternative? Doesn't look like it. She's going pop.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't release anything prior.
No.
So it was just like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, who knows?
But it is interesting. So the Midnight songs, some of them were leaked 2 days before. So that was on October 19th. And the songs that were leaked were Lavender Haze, Snow on the Beach, Karma, and Antihero. Mm. And I know somebody that was able to listen early. But I didn't realize this. I think this is really cool.
I listened early.
You did? Wait, I think you told me
that. The whole album. Because we have a friend that sometimes gets access early. And
I did not realize that. Or did I?
You probably knew.
Okay.
But like forgot.
Yeah.
It was actually, I'm usually like kind of against that.
Yeah.
And I haven't, that's actually the only time I've ever done it.
Uh-huh.
But it worked out really well because I'm like, I don't even remember where I was going. I am not joking you. Our friend sent it to me.
Yeah.
I was boarding a flight. And I was going to like miss the drop or like be out of town or something.
So like it worked out.
So I was able to download it right before my flight and like listen to it on my flight. It was fun.
Cool.
It was fun. Cool. But then like when Tortured Poets came out, I had the opportunity to listen early or like there were other like leaked songs and I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to hold
I
strong.
do think there's something special about waiting
for the intended release.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and this was cool. I didn't know this. But so they leaked on X. Mm-hmm. It was Twitter then, right? Or wasn't X? Who knows? So. Whatever it was. But Swifties came out like super strong and they were like, this is not okay. Like we should not have these like leaked until Taylor wants them to.
Yeah.
And they buried the leaks online. So if you went to Twitter, you had to scroll 10 minutes before you found the like leaked songs. That's which amazing. Is incredible. So like people would search like Midnight's leaked and they would just have you scrolling for like 10 minutes and people were just like making funny jokes about stuff and then like hashtag Midnight's leaked.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's honestly really cool.
What an army.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is. I didn't know that and I just thought that was really cool.
Oh, I love that. So then we have the announcement for Midnights.
Gives me chills.
It does. And it's so funny because in a previous episode, we talked about how we've been clowning for Rep TV for 4 years. This was the very first time.
Very good. Perfect.
I feel like the beginning
when
of
it
like
started
major clowning for Rep, which was 4 years ago. Because she wore to the VMAs. She wore that like diamond dangly dress is what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Which was totally look what you made me do vibes.
100%.
Was it could have been the same dress. Like you could convince me. It was the same. Like it was so rep coded. And so people thought she was going to announce Reputation TV at the VMAs. But what did she do? She announced Midnight, and it was so fun to go back and watch the video again, especially because it was really fun because the award she was accepting was for All Too Well 10-minute version short film, which was so special for her to like be winning an award for that. And she was like I decided that like if you guys were like gracious enough to like give me this award that I would like, because VMAs are fan voted, and so it was super fun that like she's like, so for the fans, like I'm gonna tell you that like my new album comes out. Oh, it's so fun.
I love all the different ways that she announces albums.
Yes,
it's so fun.
Yes. So she specifically said, I had sort of made up my mind that if you were going to be this generous and give us this, I thought it might be a fun moment to tell you all that my brand new album comes out October 21st, which this was August 28th. So that was like a pretty quick, like it was coming
a month and a half, maybe
pretty soon. And then she said, I'll tell you more at midnight.
So fun. We didn't realize that was so cool.
Yeah, it's so fun to like look back and see like the little Easter eggs.
Yeah, that she said that we didn't pick up on.
Yes. And then so she did her social media post that night, and she did like a carousel scrolling pictures of and so the caption said, Midnights, the stories of 13 sleepless nights scattered throughout my life, will be out October 21st. Meet me at midnight. And then the first picture that she had was the album cover, and it just had like track 1, track 2, track 3, showing that there were 13 tracks, but there were no names. And then the second slide, I'm going to read for you. It said, we lie awake in love and in fear, in turmoil and in tears. We stare at walls and drink until they speak back. We twist in our self-made cages and pray that we aren't right this minute, about to make some fateful, life-altering mistake. This is like making me sad.
I know. Yeah. Well, we're going to read liner notes later, which I had realized I never read. And I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you were going through some stuff.
Yeah, she was. Jeez. And the picture that goes with it too.
Yeah.
She's just like so down.
We'll put it here.
She's down bad. It says, this is a collection of music written in the middle of the night, a journey through terrors and sweet dreams, the floors we pace and the demons we face, for all of us who have tossed and turned and decided to keep the lanterns lit and go searching, hoping that just maybe when the clock strikes 12, we'll meet ourselves. Midnights, the stories of 13 sleepless nights scattered throughout my life, will be out October 21st. Meet me at midnight. So, wow. Yeah, I'm really interested to hear what the liner notes say. Because that small bit, I was like, whoa, oh my gosh.
I loved, though, the whole 13 sleepless nights. Like that idea.
Yeah.
And when I was researching this, I did see some people say like, oh, Midnights just doesn't seem like super cohesive. She must have just decided that the only way they would fit together is if it was like 13 random times.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think that these were 13 moments in her life that she was awake in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Thinking about whatever was happening. Like you do that.
Yeah. That's not like an obscure thing to be doing, for sure. She also revealed on Spotify that the songs on Midnights were inspired by 5 different like themes. Those being self-loathing, fantasizing about revenge, wondering what might have been, falling in love, and falling apart. So,
which that honestly fits.
Yes. For
very,
sure.
very much.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about like the album as a whole, like the cover art and like all of that. So the cover art's super like minimalistic design. So they had a couple of editions. The standard edition's cover artwork has like a square photo of Taylor. She's got like blue eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and then red lipstick, and she's like holding the little flame of like
the lighter.
Yeah, close to her face. And then the photo is at the bottom right corner, and it only like covers half of like the overall, what am I saying? Like album cover, I guess. It only covers half of it, because then the other part is white and it has like this negative space, and then the track list is on the bottom left. And a lot of people are saying that the track list like presentation is super reminiscent of vinyl album jackets back in the 70s. And like we'll talk about how like the 70s was like a big theme for like this vibe, but kind of fun. So she has 4 different variants. The 4 versions were Moonstone Blue Edition, which is the standard edition. And then you have Jade Green, Blood Moon, and Mahogany. And the other editions were like available on her website. They all included 13 songs. And then there was 1 of 4 collectible albums that had like a unique front and back cover art, like we just talked about. And then 1 of 3 unique collectible disc artworks, 1 of 4 unique marbled color CD discs, and then a collectible lyric booklet with never before seen photos. So she was just really saying, here's some unique stuff depending on which one you get.
I don't even remember what I have.
I think I have the standard.
I need to check. I probably just
do.
have the standard too.
Actually, I have the...
Do you have the vinyl yet?
Of Midnight's? Yes. I'm pretty sure I just have the standard. I was like, maybe I got the Target version, which we'll talk about, because that had Hits Different, but that was my CD that I went and bought so that I could listen to Hits Different. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, the back cover then like made a clock. And so the like reverse sides of each of those had a quarter section of like a dial.
So like if you had all 4.
Yes. And you assembled them together, you could like buy this mechanism that then like turned it into a clock, which is a really fun idea.
So fun.
For Midnight.
Especially because, and Swifties, because you know they're going to eat that up.
Absolutely.
They're like, it makes a clock? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy all 4. Check.
I'll buy 4 CDs that are essentially the same thing.
For reals.
Okay, so now we'll jump into the track list. So they confirmed there were 13 tracks, and then obviously there weren't only 13 tracks.
Nope.
There's always more.
I know. But I love that she started with 13.
Yeah.
Like, just perfect for her.
It was perfect. So there were bonus. So there was like the deluxe version at Target, which had the lavender edition. It was the same cover, but Midnight's was in lavender. And it had Hits Different. And then a strings remix of You're on Your Own Kid. And then a piano remix of Sweet Nothing.
And I just remember like realizing that Hits Different was not going to be on streaming. I ran to Target. I was like, must listen to this song.
I think that's when I bought mine too, because I specifically bought this CD with Hits Different, and then I never listened to it.
I remember that. Because it's hard, like cars nowadays.
Yeah,
luckily
don't have
I had
CD
my
players.
super old car still.
Yeah.
But like I can't listen to it now.
Yeah.
But it's on streaming. It was added to streaming on May 26th.
Yes.
So
and
finally.
It's so funny because it ended up being one of my still favorite songs.
I am surprised she made that song
so like
just like the deluxe one, because it's too good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
It's so good.
It's too good.
I know. It's so good. And then we had the photo shoot was very 1970s.
Very 70s.
Very, very 70s.
I wonder why she chose that vibe.
I know. Me too.
Add it to the list.
Add it
Things
to the list
Taylor.
of questions. So, I mean, I don't know. That's so left field. I was just going to say, like, I feel like Midnight's is a little bit of a Joe album. I mean, it's got a variety of themes, but I'm like, maybe Joe was kind of, I could see
like
him
into
being
the
kind
70s.
of like old-fashioned.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Taylor knows.
Taylor knows. She had a vision.
I mean, it fit.
She executed the vision. Yeah. So there was like a clock face. She was in like a family room with furniture with like retro upholstery, and then like a rust velvet curtain in the background, a retro piano, a push button telephone, and a wood paneled wall.
It's like all of that is
wood
very
paneled
70s.
Wall. You put anything in a wood paneled wall, and it's immediately 70s.
Well, and like the rust velvet curtain, I'm like,
yes,
yep.
And then what she wore was also like, I loved
Yeah.
what she wore, especially in like the Antihero music video,
Oh,
which was
yeah.
still 70s vibes.
Yes.
But she wore embellishments that Vogue identified as disco sequins and corduroy flare.
Which, yep.
Totally fits.
Yep.
And then, yeah, music video wardrobe, houndstooth polo sweaters, ribbed knit trousers, and sequined bodysuits. So
very 70s. I'm really curious why she chose that.
that's
But
so 70s.
yeah. 70s show. Okay, we're gonna talk about the liner notes.
I'm scared. I am scared.
I actually didn't read all of it. Like I like skimmed parts of it and I was like, oh, I want to just be like
in the moment
with this. It's kind of long. So I've like split it up between both of us.
Okay.
And then if there's moments that we got to stop and talk, because which one was it? There was one of the liner notes that we read one time. And
it was probably Tortured Poets.
I think it was an old one though.
Really?
Was it
like 1918? It would have been Folklore. I don't know.
Anyway,
like
one
all
of them we read and something like hit us. Maybe it was Tortured Poets.
Well, because we're doing this typically in retrospect. Tortured Poets wasn't really, but like we maybe read these when it first comes out. And then we don't read them again.
No, yeah.
So to read them again, having like the hindsight.
Yes.
Is
and
like
I think that's
so interesting.
Like this whole album in hindsight with like Joe and stuff. Because I know there's been a lot of people that were like, this is a Joe breakup album. This is a Joe breakup album. I actually genuinely believe that this is like 13 Sleepless Nights. And there are so many connections throughout. And like maybe we'll change my mind as we like deep dive.
Yeah.
But I do think there are some songs hinting about some Joe breakups or like some issues with Joe that I may not have picked up on initially.
Yeah. I love too that like the way you just said that. Like I love for us, we go into these series like not even knowing what to personally expect. We're like we're literally along for the ride with you. And it's so fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Liner notes. Are you guys ready?
No,
Here we go.
I'm not ready.
She says, it's a momentary glimmer of distraction, the tiniest notion of reminiscent thought that wanders off into wondering, the spark that lights a tinderbox of fixation. And now it is irreversible. The flame has caught. You're wide awake. Like just the way she describes being wide awake in the middle of the night, I'd have been like, so I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep.
This also, like, liner notes are so fun. We're like already talking, but liner notes are fun because it shows her writing strength in just like pure writing form.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay. Maybe it's that one urgent question you meant to ask someone years ago, but didn't. Someone that slipped through the cracks in your history and they're too far gone now anyway. All the ghost ships that have sailed and sailed away, but at this hour they've anchored in your harbor. They sit with flags waving, bright and beautiful, and it's almost like it's real.
We've already talked about that before. Do you remember? With Maddie?
Oh,
Yes, we have talked specifically about this with connecting to Maddie Healy in our Maddie Healy deep dive because of the like, I can't remember which Tortured Poets song it ties to, but the whole like the ships anchoring in your harbor, flags waving. That's like a total Maddie Healy reference.
Maybe we're gonna find more Maddie songs on Midnight. So well, and even that first part, like maybe it's that one urgent question.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we've talked about how we think question is Maddie Healy.
Yeah.
Sometimes sleep is as evasive as happiness. Isn't it mystifying how quickly we vacillate? Oh my gosh. Vacillate? You guys, this is embarrassing.
I don't know.
Between self-love and loathing at this hour, one moment your life looks like a night sky of gleaming stars. The next, the fog has descended. Suddenly, you're in the town you left behind all those years ago. The trees of your youth with the phantom memory echoes of your belly laughter and the rope indentations of your old tire swing still on the branch. All the phone numbers you still know by heart but never call anymore. The boy's devastated face as he peeled out of your driveway. The family man he is now. That would give me chills.
Yeah, geez.
What must they all think of you? I think it's hard too because you can see she cares a lot about what people think of her. And I'm sure she spends so many nights like thinking about past moments where she's like, what do they think of me? Like, why did I do that? And what do they think of me?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure that keeps her up.
Yes. So continuing on, she says, why can't you sleep? Maybe you lie awake in the aftershock of falling headlong into connection that feels like some surreal cataclysmic event.
Yeah, for real.
Like spontaneous combustion or seeing snow falling on a tropical beach. A lavender haze crush that feels like the crash of a wave. Or was tonight the night you realize how solitary, how alone you really are, no matter how high you climb? The elevation, oh my gosh. The elevation just makes it colder. Some midnights you're out and you're buzzing with electric current, an adventure in pursuit of rapturous thrill. Her vocabulary.
I know. I'm like, too smart for me.
Music blaring from speakers and the reckless intimacy of dancing with strangers. Something in the shadowy room to make you feel shiny again. On these nights, you know that there are facets of you that only glow in the dark.
It's just like, and I get it, like when you're up in the middle of the night and you're just like thinking of stuff, it's not really a happy time.
Mm-mm.
But it, like reading this and seeing how she's talking about just like, I can't sleep. I'm lying awake and I'm thinking about like these cataclysmic events, this like spontaneous combustion, how I feel so alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, this makes me feel like Midnights is even sadder than I thought
Yes.
it was. Okay, there's just a little bit left. She says, why are you still up at this hour? Because you're cosplaying vengeance fantasies where the bad man is hauled away in handcuffs and you get to watch it happen. You laugh into the mirror with a red wine snarl. You look positively deranged. Maybe you were trying to mastermind matters of the heart again. You've got lost in the labyrinth of your head where the fear wraps its claws around the fragile throat of true love. Will you be able to save it in time? Save it from who? Well, it's obvious, from you. Like, oh my goodness. Also, this part is interesting to me. Maybe you were trying to mastermind matters of the heart again. It's like, how many times do you think she's felt like she's like a little puppet in her like love story?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, we're almost done. We lie in love and in fear and in turmoil and in tears. We stare at walls and drink until they speak back. We twist in our self-made cages and pray that we aren't, right this minute, about to make some fateful, life-altering mistake. This is a collection of music written in the middle of the night, a journey through terrors and sweet dreams, the floors we pace and the demons we face. For all of us who have tossed and turned and decided to keep the lanterns lit and keep ghost searching, hoping that just maybe when the clock strikes 12, we'll meet ourselves. See you there, Midnight Sharp. Taylor.
Dang.
I know.
It's
it just like, I
intense.
want to go listen to Midnights again now and like almost from like a sad angle.
Yeah.
Because I know there are a lot of sad songs, but also the way they're produced are pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Like
And
I can do it with a
so-
broken heart vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And so just like reading that though, the whole time I was just like, but it makes sense. Like I was saying, when you can't sleep, it's because something like really sad is on your
Mhm.
mind.
Yeah. Oh man. Crazy.
I know. Whew.
Okay. We are going to take a quick ad break. So today we have a new podcast
We
sponsor.
love new podcast sponsors.
Yes, called Just Ingredients, which is a brand I use a lot of, and Carly has actually never used.
I have not.
So,
I have a lot of friends that use it though, and
Yeah.
some of them will give the products as like bunko prizes.
Mm,
And so like I know everybody like loves them, and I
Yeah.
keep being like, okay, I just need to try them. And so when we got them as a sponsor, I'm like, yes, okay, now is my time.
yes. So, Just Ingredients, they're like, I just grabbed part of their mission to kind of like show what they're about.
Okay.
But they say, we believe that nourishing your body both inside and out is essential for living a healthy and fulfilling life. That's why we create a range of products that are free from artificial additives and added sugars, just real ingredients. So it's like a very like natural, clean company. And it's so cool because they have grown. They're local to us in Utah.
Uh-huh.
They have grown a ton over the years. They
Yeah.
used to just have like a couple products. Now they have so many. I actually hadn't used them much until maybe the last 6 months or
Okay.
so. I had a friend recommend one of their supplements
Okay.
and I tried it and I really liked it. And then just barely like a few months ago when they had their Black Friday sale,
Oh, uh-huh. You bought a lot?
I bought so much stuff.
That's when you know it's good. Is when like we are buying the product ourselves. Like,
I bought
we love this.
so much stuff. They have everything, you guys. They have so many supplements. They have protein powder. They have beauty products. Like they have the face serum.
That's like what I have a couple friends that love the face serums.
They have face serums for men and women. They have deodorant. They have dry shampoo. They have lotion. They have chapstick.
That's so cool.
And some of the cool things, like especially about their lotion, is you know how like sometimes if you have like an open wound or like whatever, and you like put lotion on, it like stings. So their lotion is made with I can't remember what it's called. Colloidal silver.
Something that's actually good for you.
The silver stuff that's good for you. And that like makes it so that doesn't like happen. It's like if you get like dry cracked hands.
Yeah.
They have like a bunch of different like
I'll have to try that because I
like
do get
naturally scented. They have electrolytes. They have I mean, I am just scratching the surface. They have so many products. And so far everything I've tried I've liked. Great. The supplement that I tried that like really got me hooked, it's called Adrenal Complex.
Okay.
And it helps with it can help with anxiety, burnout, and just like overall like brain fog and like those kind of things. And it really does. Like I can tell a huge difference when I take it regularly or if I'm not taking it regularly. So like right now the supplements that I got that I'm like regularly using are the Adrenal Complex. They're like vitamin D.
Okay.
And then their magnesium, I use that at night to like help me sleep.
Yeah.
And then I have their face serum. I gave my husband a face serum in his stocking for Christmas.
Fun. Yeah,
and
that's a good idea.
I have more stuff. I mean, I've been using their chapstick. I've been using their lotion. I have
like all the things.
Bought the dry shampoo. I have not tried it yet because I'm like gonna just run out of my other one first. So I will let you know how I like the dry shampoo.
There's like so many good things. I'm excited to try some.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like go and get some and test it out.
So fun. Yeah. So they gave us a code. It's TTN10 for 10% off, and their website is justingredients.us, and we will link that in the show notes for you. But definitely check it out. And if you have any questions, because like I said, they have a lot of products. Their website's also like super informative. Their Instagram, that's a big thing of theirs too, is like education on what your body needs. Because I do
follow them.
Yeah. So like follow them on Instagram. They have so much. They have like endless information on their Instagram. So check it out. Let us know if you have questions and we can try to help answer. But yeah.
So fun.
Okay. So next we are going to talk about the production of Midnights. So the writers were Taylor and Jack wrote 11 of the 13 songs on the standard edition. Taylor wrote Vigilante Shit alone. And then Sweet Nothing is with William Bowery.
I know.
Which I like can't even say it with a straight face. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Oh, I can't.
I know.
And then Soundwave was created a first demo.
So that's like a musician.
Soundwave is a musician?
Yeah. Like he is a producer.
Okay.
Yeah. And he like created a demo for Lavender Haze by just like experimenting with different sounds and like hitting a button on accident. Wow. And they were like, oh, this is cool.
Nice.
You know? Like, man, how would that be? Like just making a hit song on accident. Like crazy. Yeah.
So then after this, apparently Jack asked him if he had any other music that would work for the album, and he sent over something that he had worked with Keanu Beats in 2019, and it was used for Karma.
Which is cool.
Wow, that's way cool.
I know, for reals. Okay, promotion. Let's talk about the promotion of the album because she did a lot. Yeah. She did a lot. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Making of Midnights TikTok series that started on September. Oh, wait. Yeah. Making of Midnights TikTok video on September 16th, which is the Nice Boy Ed video.
Hey, if you're on Patreon.
I was just going to say, if you don't know what we're talking about, we did an entire Patreon episode about that. So you can, like, we'll link our Patreon down below too, but it's $5. You can listen to all of our bonus episodes. There's 2 a month. And if you don't know about Nice Boy Ed,
It's
it's very interesting.
very
So
interesting.
you're going to want to know that. But I just had to include that because she used Nice Boy Ed's song Life You Lead as the background track. And then it just shows like a bunch of like making of Midnights. So that's kind of fun. And then she did the Midnights Mayhem with Me series also on TikTok,
That
which was
was
really fun.
huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes. So that started about September 21st and went through October 7th. What she did was she released 13 videos where she announced like the title of each track. And it was so fun
So fun.
because she had like a lottery cage with 13 ping pong balls in it, and they were like numbered, and then she would like, you know, crank it, and then the ball would drop out, and then she'd be like, oh, it's like 13, the 13th track is whatever. Nope, I don't remember it. I wish I
don't
did.
either.
I was gonna say Mastermind, but I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, yeah, and then she would like pick up a red phone and like say like, this is track 13 title, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So kind of fun.
Oh, so fun. And then there were, you know, of course, any opportunity for Swifties to look for Easter eggs.
Oh, we are there.
We there. So like
Yes.
daily videos of
Yes.
Taylor Swift, even though it's like in a small setting, there's really not much to go off of course. There's always still something.
I know.
So there were 2 videos where she specifically used her left hand to hold the red phone, except for so she did.
Oh, I probably like I messed that up when I was typing it. Yeah.
So the 2 that she did hold it up with her
Yes.
left hand
Yeah.
were You're On Your Own Kid and Bejeweled. And then it still haunts
I know.
everyone in their sleep.
That's the thing is like, why?
For 2 videos, she held the phone upside down for Vigilante Shit and Antihero.
Why?
Which is just so weird. And
I
I think
know.
if I remember right, is that like track 2 and 7 or something? I don't remember
think
the numbers,
so.
but like people were just like, what is the meaning of like
or 3?
2 and
I think
7?
Antihero is 3.
3, like 3 and 7, like
Something, yeah.
what is
I know. Like it was so weird.
And still,
What if we one day do get it?
over 2 years later,
Yeah.
we still have no idea what
Well,
that
yeah.
means.
It's like I'm still wondering why she changed the red bodysuit.
Yep.
I am like haunted by that.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
If we ever do another what did we call it? Urban Legends.
Yes. Yes.
The red
Some of these,
bodysuit
yep.
definitely get added. Oh my gosh. And then 2 videos she did like a behind the song, and it was for track 1 and 3, which is 13.
And track 1 is Lavender Haze.
Mm-hmm.
Track 3 is Antihero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this like breaks my heart. But I think I was telling you, she's deleted the video of like behind the song for Lavender Haze when she was talking about her relationship with Joe Alwyn.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
That's so
That's
I
so
don't think I knew
sad.
that either.
I saw it said it was about a month after. It was like in May after they broke up.
That
Like,
is really sad.
Especially because like, oh, it's so hard. Like that took actual thoughts
Mhm.
of like, I don't want this, like me talking about this on my Instagram.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
that happens a lot when people break up
Yeah.
or get divorced.
Yeah, they
they'll
like swipe
they'll
their
like go
account.
cleanse.
Yes. Yeah.
Which to me, I've actually always thought is a little, I don't know,
It's like it's part of your past.
Yeah, like it's part of your life. I get maybe for some people it might be triggering
Yeah.
or whatever, but I mean, you can tell that like, I mean, that's like work of hers that she has spent time and created. So for her to like delete it, it was
I
probably like a
know.
painful thing to have like
Yeah.
in existence.
Yes, absolutely.
Just so sad.
I know. Okay, and then she did what was called Midnight's Manifest. So on October 17th, she posted like this desk calendar, like a week long,
Mhm.
with all of the promotional events that she had planned. So we're going to go over that. So it started with Thursday, October 20th, and then it had like writing that said like teaser trailer, 3rd quarter of Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. Which is kind of fun. And then Friday, October 21st, she said 12 a.m. Eastern Standard, Midnight's album release. 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special, very chaotic surprise.
which made us all stay up
Oh,
super
absolutely.
late.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that that's only 1 a.m. our time
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to like listen to the album. I think I listened to it like twice and I was like texting everybody about it. And then I was like, okay, I can stay up for another like half hour at that point
Yeah.
and like get the surprise.
I need
and
to
I'm so
remember
glad I did.
I was on vacation. Like literally, remember I said I was flying somewhere.
Yes.
Like, and I think I was with my mom. I'm like, I literally am like, why can I not remember where I
Where
was?
you were.
I need to figure it out.
That's so
It's
funny.
driving me
Yeah.
nuts.
That's like really, yeah. You're like, what was I doing?
I need to figure
I
it
can
out.
like still picture myself in my bed, like texting my sister, texting like another like Taylor Swift group chat I like used to have. And like we were like talking about it. My husband was in the office doing something because he was like, well, Carly's staying up. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just let her do her thing in bed. Cause you know, you have to like look at the lyrics, listen to the
Yeah.
song.
And I was doing all that in a hotel bed.
Somewhere.
But
Somewhere.
and yeah, as you read these, I'm
Okay,
looking
you're gonna
it
figure it out.
because
Perfect.
that's gonna drive me insane.
So yeah, we will get to the special chaotic surprise in a minute, but most of you guys probably know what it is. And then 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Antihero music video premiere and hashtag TS Antihero Challenge on YouTube Shorts. And then 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, lyric videos. At least this time she told us when the lyric videos were coming out.
Yes, jeez.
Saturday, October 22nd, it said stream Midnights Please. Sunday, October 23rd, it said visit your local record store. Monday, October 24th was the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon appearance. Tuesday, October 25th, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, second Midnights music video release. And then Wednesday and Thursday, October 26th and 27th, streaming Midnights and watch videos, please. And Friday, October 28th, the Graham Norton Show appearance. So it was really fun to like see what was coming to.
Yes.
And I love on the days she didn't have something, she'd still write like, stream the album, please. Or like
Yes.
watch the music video.
Oh,
It's fun.
So fun.
Did you figure out where you were?
I did.
Okay, perfect.
I was not with my mom.
Oh.
I was with my husband.
Okay.
We were going to the old law firm he worked for would do like work retreats, and we were headed to his work retreat in Arizona, in Tucson.
Well,
so
we figured it out.
Mystery solved. So
that's
funny.
Awesome.
Okay, so on Spotify for promo, it was super fun. She did canvases of her songs, were updated with like images of a clock. And then it was super fun because starting on October 17th, around the world, I love when she does stuff like this. Too. And she does it for almost every album. She did it for Tortured Poets too. But she displayed lyrics from Midnights on billboards in 5 cities.
I just love when we get the lyrics early.
I know.
I love it.
I know. So New York, the billboard said, I should not be left to my own devices. London said, I polish up real nice. Sao Paulo said, just like clockwork, the dominoes cascaded in a line. Nashville, it said, did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room? And Mexico City said, breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, breathe out. So fun.
Yes.
And then Apple Fitness had 3 exercise programs designed around her music featuring tracks from Midnights.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. And then iHeartRadio from October 21st to 26th, they did like they brought Midnights with Taylor, where Taylor told the stories behind the songs, which was super fun.
And if you don't follow us on Instagram, we're at typicaltuesdaynight.podcast, but we're going to be sharing some of those.
Yeah.
I found them all and I was like,
great,
let's share it because they're fun to like listen to, especially after the fact, like so far along. Okay, I want to talk about, it was interesting though, because she didn't do any pre-release singles or like a music preview. Like we just kind of had to speculate. And we kind of talked about that before. Like we just had Folklore. We just had Evermore. We were like, okay, is it going to be that vibe?
Yeah.
We see that it's going to be pop. So we're like, it was just, I remember being like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Like, what is this album going to be?
Especially with the 70s vibes.
Yes. I was like, I do not know where you're going with this. But it was fun. And I think she does it because it really heightens the anticipation. And I think she realizes that with all of us now, that she doesn't need to put out a song yet to like get people to be interested in the music,
Mhm.
almost a better way is to like make us all wonder what she's doing next.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she's always changing.
Yes, totally.
It's so fun.
Yes.
Okay, 3 a.m. edition, Till Dawn edition, and Late Night edition. Oh my gosh, she just like kept giving us new editions, and
Yeah.
I was here for it. I
Yes.
loved it. So at 3 a.m.
Spoon feed me.
Yes, for reals though. Just
Just a
keep
bite
it
at
coming.
a time.
Keep it coming. I
Keep
know.
going.
For reals. 3 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, Taylor posted on her Instagram, and the caption said, "Surprise! I think of Midnights as a complete concept album with those 13 songs, forming a full picture of the intensities of that mystifying mad hour. However, there were other songs we wrote on our journey to find that magic 13, and I'm calling them 3 a.m. tracks. Lately, I've been loving the feeling of sharing more of our creative process with you like we do from the Vault tracks. So it's 3 a.m. and I'm giving them to you now."
Yes.
I was so excited.
Yes.
So excited. So the new songs we got were The Great War, Bigger Than the Whole Sky, Paris, High Infidelity, Glitch, Would've, Could've, Should've, Dear Reader. And I was so happy. I didn't realize this at the time, but I think the reason I liked a lot of the new songs better was Aaron Dessner, co-wrote and co-produced. I just think I'm an Aaron. I am. So the ones that Aaron helped co-write and co-produce were The Great War, High Infidelity, and Would've, Could've, Should've. So, but honestly, like I love Paris, and that
Yeah.
still wasn't him. I love Bigger Than the Whole Sky, like Glitch. Like I just love these ones.
And Aaron came out and sang Would've, Could've, Should've with her, right? Or
I
like
think so.
played an instrument with her. Yeah.
Which
on
is so
Eras
I'm excited to talk about that song.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of these. The Great War, after doing our
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she comes out with another edition called Till Dawn edition, and I just love like how she named these too.
Mhm.
Like, oh, such good branding. Like I just chef's kiss.
Yes.
Okay. So she posted on Instagram on May 26th to announce this, and the caption said, so much to tell you. I'm a massive fan of this brilliant artist, and after getting to know her, I can confirm she is the one to watch. So delighted to say that Karma featuring the incredible At Ice Spice will be out tomorrow night at midnight Eastern time as a part of the new Midnights Till Dawn Edition deluxe album that you can pre-order now at storetaylorswift.com. In addition to Karma featuring Ice Spice, she said, "You asked for it, we listened."
It's the best.
I know. Lana and I went back into the studio specifically to record more Lana on Snow on the Beach. And then she says, "Love you," and she tags Lana. And then, but wait, there's more. For those of you going to the East Rutherford shows, we will have a new special edition CD available only on site starting at 12:30
over this.
I know. p.m. Eastern time on Friday. This CD will have a never before heard Midnights Vault track called You're Losing Me.
Goosebumps.
First off, okay, I was so mad that you could only get it. Yes, there.
You wonder why she picked that location too.
I know.
I guess is that the New Jersey? Is that like basically the New York shows? Like, because
maybe
they
probably
don't like the New York shows aren't
yeah,
like in
New York. Yeah, must be. I don't know. That song is just wow.
Yeah.
But there's also, I loved that she was like a never before heard Midnights Vault track because it made me wonder if there are going to be more Vault tracks coming for more than just re-records.
Yeah.
Like, will one day we get like a
Tortured
Lovers?
Poet.
Could you imagine more Tortured?
Yeah. I mean, we technically did get some Lover ones, but there's even more that's
true.
Get.
But yeah, like I'm just thinking like, is she gonna be able to like one day give us even more?
The crowd was chanting, more Vault tracks. More Vault tracks.
She's like hitting the floor, crying her eyes out.
But I do love that, like, she said, like, we've learned, like, we're just gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys want it. Why not?
Back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Oh.
But yeah, I love the whole, every time I see on my Spotify, like, Snow on the Beach featuring more Lana Del Rey, just like, It makes me laugh.
It's so good.
amazing.
It's so good. I know.
Yes, it's so fun.
Okay, and then the late night edition was only available on CD at the East Rutherford shows, and that included You're Losing Me.
Yeah.
So there was the Till Dawn edition and then the like exclusive late night edition.
Yeah. And eventually, obviously, we got You're Losing Me on streaming, but it was a long time.
I know. I used to pull it up on YouTube
Mhm.
and I would just like play it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, here I am in my depressing hour.
I feel depressed. What
Yeah.
should I
So
listen
watch
to?
that song,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the singles for Midnights were Anti-Hero. It was the first single. The music video dropped at 8 a.m. Eastern on October 21st. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, of course.
As it should.
And then we had Lavender Haze was the second single to the radio November 29th, 2022. It peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100. And then its music video was released January 26, 2023.
I didn't realize what it waited.
It was
so
like
long.
a little while. And then Karma was the third single, and it wasn't released till May 1st, 2023, as the remix with Ice Spice, released on May 26th, which we are in the Eras tour during this.
Yep.
It peaked at number 2 on the Hot 100, and the music video debuted May 26, 2023 at her East Rutherford
I'm like,
Eras
man.
tour show.
Those East Rutherford shows.
Yeah.
They won.
Yeah, they did. And is that when Ice Spice performed with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Performed
And then
Karma.
they like watched the music video.
Yeah.
So cool.
And then Question and Bejeweled. They were a limited time digital download on Taylor's website on October 25th for exclusive instrumental versions.
It's interesting to me that those were the songs she picked. Like, why Question?
Yeah, why Question?
I think she likes that
we
one.
question a lot about Question.
Yes. Yes.
And then the Bejeweled music video came out October 24th, 2022.
Yeah, it's like pretty quickly after. Like it was like Anti-Hero 3 days later. Bejeweled.
Yeah.
And then you kind of waited a while.
Dang.
But,
crazy.
Okay. I'm excited to talk about this next part because I like texted you when I was making this. We're going to talk about like awards and records. You guys, it was insane. I'm not even going to read them all because some of them I was just like, we can't even talk about these.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like most of these are so big and so like record breaking that I had to bring them up.
Yeah.
So many records, which is absolutely incredible. So we are going to start with the Billboard Awards that she has won. So she was the first artist in history to simultaneously occupy spots 1 through 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, which Anti-Hero was at number 1. That is wild to me that she can do that.
Yeah.
That is crazy. But then to be the first artist in history.
Wow.
To do it.
That's crazy.
It was her 11th consecutive number 1 album on the Billboard 200. All of the tracks entered the Billboard Global 200 simultaneously, which is also crazy.
Wow.
Which made her the record for the most simultaneously top 10 entries. She had 9. And then the first artist to occupy the entire top 5 of the Global 200. That's, yeah. All 20 tracks from the 3 a.m. edition also charted in the top 45. She spent, I know, like that's crazy. The entire album.
Yeah.
Not even just the entire album, the entire extended
all
album.
20 songs.
Yeah. It spent 6 weeks on top of the Billboard 200, and it was number 1 in 14 countries.
Wow.
That's wild to me.
That is so crazy.
14 countries.
Yeah.
And it's just hitting number 1. Like she's wow. Okay, and then Spotify record, in less than 24 hours, she became the most streamed album in a single day. She had the highest single week streams and the total streams across all platforms in 1 week. 549.26 million streams in 1 week.
1 week. Oh my gosh.
That's half a billion.
Insane. Yeah. That's insane.
What? Yeah, that's wild. Her Apple Music record, she set the record for the biggest pop album on Apple Music. She had the highest single day streams for any pop. And then Amazon Music, she also had some. She was the highest single week streams for an album. And I loved this one. The highest single day request on Amazon Alexa. So it was like the most requested thing.
Alexa,
on-
play
yeah,
Taylor Swift Midnights.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
love it. I know. I
funny.
thought that was fun.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so as far as award shows go, obviously at the 2024 Grammys, she won
Yes.
Album of the Year, first to win 4 times. And it's crazy. We were talking about like Midnights has been winning big. Like it just feels like crazy that just this past Grammys is when it won Album of the Year. Its award show cycle is like so long. 2
I know.
years. So,
Crazy.
and it also won Best Pop Vocal Album. And that was, the 66th Grammys. And then 2022, going back to the People's Choice Awards, it won Album of the Year. At the iHeartRadio Music Awards in 2023, it won Pop Album of the Year. And then in 2023, at the MTV Music Awards, it won Album of the Year and additional 8 awards, Artist of the Year.
I was just
Crazy.
like, we're not even just here.
Yeah.
You won initially.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, crazy. And then as far as like record sales went, her 5th album to sell over 1 million the first week.
So wild.
It tied Barbra Streisand for most #1 albums among women, best-selling album of 2022, second best-selling album of 2023 after Morgan Wallen's One Thing at a Time.
It's just like crazy to me to be like, yeah, it came out in 2022 and it's still the second like top selling album of 2023.
Yeah. And you're going to appreciate this.
Yeah.
It was the top selling digital album of 2023, which you participated in.
Me.
You
That
bought
was
it
me.
on iTunes and you helped her get that.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you.
It was certified double platinum. In the UK, Midnight sold over 140,000 units in the first 3 days to become the fastest selling album of 2022.
That's crazy.
And then the album generated $230 million in sales for Universal in 2022, accounting for 3% of their annual revenue, the highest from any artist.
That is wild
That
to
is
me.
insane.
That she generates 3% of this massive company's annual revenue.
Yeah.
Like that really, I don't even think I can actually like
one
process
single
that.
artist
Yeah.
does that.
Because I am curious how many like artists they have. It is
it's
ton.
Huge.
Like it is a huge group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's wild.
Wow.
Okay. She was the Global Recording Artist of the Year, and that made it her 3rd time. She was also the Global Recording Artist in 2014 and 2019. Metacritic gave her a rating of 85 out of 100. I think that's her 2nd highest score. I should have double checked that, but it's like one of the highest that she has. This is interesting because we have been talking about like where her rankings are with Rolling Stone and Billboard. So I looked those up to see where they were going with that. So Rolling Stone and Billboard, she hit 3rd, which is the highest of her rankings at the time in best albums of 2022. So I looked up too because I was like, okay, well, who beat her? Rolling Stone, Bad Bunny was 2nd, and Beyonce Renaissance album was #1.
Renaissance, great.
Was yes.
Great.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I did find it really, I was like, we've got another Beyonce Taylor moment. If you guys don't, we've been chatting on Patreon a lot.
About Beyonce.
About Beyonce and Taylor and the Grammys and all that. So if that's your vibe, check us out on Patreon. But then Billboard had Beyonce at 2nd and then Bad Bunny at #1. So yeah. And then according to Billboard, it was the only album in 2022 that succeeded evenly across every consumption metric, namely streaming, album sales, and song downloads, which I thought was really cool that like she's the only album that like shows overall she hits those like marks.
Wow.
And like the best.
That's so crazy.
I know. That's crazy.
Okay. Well, that was a lot. That was so fun.
It's cool to like look back on.
Yes. I feel like this was a great series to get into post Eras Tour because it's almost like we got Midnights and then we took like an almost 2-year break so that we could do the
We could do
Eras
the Eras
tour,
tour, yeah.
and now we're going back to
Yeah,
Midnight.
it's kind of fun. That's a good point.
Yeah, we were kind of torn on like which one to go with.
We
and
were.
I'm feeling good about this
I
one.
absolutely
Yeah,
am too. Yeah,
I'm like
because
feeling
we
really
were
excited.
going back and forth, and I can't even remember why we finally decided.
Yeah,
It was something you said. I don't even remember what you said, but I was like, "Yep, it's Midnight." It's Midnight.
yeah. So I'm super excited for. I mean, these series we go into everything. So
Yes.
buckle up. It's super fun.
Very fun.
You guys love our series, and so
Yeah.
we're super excited.
Yeah, and if you know somebody that loves Midnights, the album, or Taylor Swift, send them this episode and be like, here's some cool facts about the Midnights album that you may not know, and tell them to listen. Also, part 2 of this episode comes out. So if you've been with us for like a previous series or have gone back and listened to one, what we do is we do like part 1, everything you need to know about like the overall album, and then we're going to do everything you need to know about the songs on the album. So we go through every single song and we just talk about like kind of the fun facts, like anything that you would need to know. And then later on, we'll kind of deep dive more into the songs and like who they're about and stuff.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely want to like subscribe wherever you're listening so that you can listen to that.
Yes. Okay, we are so excited about everything to come with our Midnight series. It's going to be so much fun. And as always, we are here to give you all of the Taylor Swift information you need because we're not about to leave you on your own, kid. See you guys.
Bye, guys.